What is going on, guys? My name is Tubby Emu. Full results for the WrestleMania 29 pay-per-view alongside me, Mr. Hurricane and Sports Gaming Universe. The link is in the description. Go check him out. Guys, the biggest pay-per-view of the year. Let's get through the results right away. What did you think of Miz beating Wade Barrett in the pre-show?
It wasn't an overly exciting match. No, I was really surprised to see a submission finish.
The finish? Well, why? Because they've been really pimping out the figure four leg lock. He kind of
because it was against Wade Barrett.
Yeah, but he's already made him tap like once or twice.
Really?
Miz is your brand new Intercontinental Champion on the pre-show. That made you wait 45 minutes to actually get the match, and then it was a short 5 to 7 minute match.
That's the part I didn't like.
Match number 1 of the pay-per-view was the Shield going up against Team WWE in about a 10-minute match. Sheamus, Randy Orton, and Big Show. Guys, thoughts about this match? Anything really quick? Really quick. Anything that you enjoyed or liked about it? Hurricane did not see this. Matt, anything you liked about this match?
I didn't really care for the ending. I thought it could have been a little bit more. I mean, obviously they weren't going to make this an epic match, but I was looking for a little bit more.
Were you mad? Did you want a Randy Orton heel turn?
I did.
All right.
It would have been all right, I guess.
People were hoping for Randy Orton heel turn. Sheamus was getting beat the shit out of. He comes clawing to the ring. Big Show's waiting for a tag, but instead Randy tags in, goes in, starts hulking up. Big Show's looking pissed in the corner. He's getting all mad. He kind of takes a step back. He's just sitting there looking at him. Dean Ambrose and Randy are going at it. Seth Rollins goes for a springboard. RKO out of midair, which was awesome. Randy gets up, gets hit with a spear by Roman Reigns. Dean Ambrose goes for the pin. Big Show stands there, looks at him, and that's the end of the match. So, and after the match, Sheamus and Randy Orton got hit with the worst WMT I've ever seen. He took like 2 steps towards Sheamus, and me and Matt were like, "What the fuck was that?" Like
that was pretty bad. I have to say.
I wish my Comcast order would have worked so I could have seen it.
You know why he didn't connect? It's because he didn't have a bucket.
He needed
Hashtag where's the bucket?
Hashtag where's the bucket? All right, Mark Henry taking on Ryback in a match that it was I don't know. You thought it was kind of boring, didn't you, Matt? Hashtag camel toe.
I don't know. I just those two guys. I wanted more. I guess.
I thought it was a pretty good match. These guys are big guys. They've kind of put on a show. It was a little slow-paced. In the end, though, the way it finished, Ryback, yes, he was able to get Mark Henry on top for a shell shock, but Mark Henry grabbed the rope. He fell on top of Ryback in a way not to hurt him, but to knock him out, pinned him 1, 2, 3. Afterwards, that's what I do. Left the ring, came back in, was going to beat the shit out of Ryback, but instead Ryback planted him with a spine buster, picked him up for a shell shock, hit the shell shock on Ryback. This is a rivalry, guys, that's going to continue, I'm guessing.
I think that at least when we were watching in the room, the post-match got more pop than the match did itself.
Absolutely. Mark Henry was victorious. They're obviously going to keep going till Extreme Rules. The tag team match, this is the last one Hurricane didn't see. It was Team Hell No going up against Dolph Ziggler and Big E, or in the case of Hurricane, it was the tag team champions versus the Comcast. And Comcast are the reigning, defending douchebags. Team Hell No and were able to win. Big E with those big pecs, with a kind of a weird unitard tonight. The colors just looked weird, didn't they, Matt?
Especially when he lost half of it.
Because he takes it off and his big E tits come out. See what I did there, big E tits? In the end, Dolph wanted distraction, so AJ kind of went up for a distraction. He took the Money in the Bank briefcase. Missed. Big E got knocked off the side by Kane. Daniel Bryan hit a running knee. They kind of did a double finisher. Kane kicked out of a zigzag, and Team Hell No retained. So
let's not forget how that started too, with the throwback to last year's 19-second match. It almost went in reverse.
Yes, this year to start it off, Dolph Ziggler was kissing AJ Lee, and turns around, and Daniel Bryan with a big kick to the head, and he kicked out. I thought that was kind of a cool thing to do. Next up, the match that Hurricane finally got to see. Fandango taking on Chris Jericho. You were not impressed, were you, Mr. Hurricane?
I was not impressed with it really at all. I expected more. I wanted to see a back-and-forth match. It started off with Chris Jericho in control. He hit a code breaker. And then what made Fandango look strong was him kicking out. It wasn't necessarily a successful offensive attack. It was kicking out. And then towards the end of the match, there was a really bad lion salt botch where Fandango was like 2 feet in the wrong place. And overall, I didn't like the match, but it made Fandango look strong, so I'll take it.
Fandango, what he's referring to here is during the match, the leg drop was just sweet, and then he missed a leg drop and landed on his ass. Fandango was laying on the ground, but he was way too close to the ropes, and I'm guessing the whole point was to have him lift up his knees as Jericho was doing the lion salt. He would reverse it, and then he would kind of roll him up. Well, because he was so close to the ropes, the reversal he kind of missed. It looked like he overshot it, and then he kind of didn't even roll him up. It looks like he Stone Cold
together, and Fandango had the pinfall,
and that was it. And that's definitely a feud that is going to continue probably into Extreme Rules.
Hopefully, a much better match.
For me, the biggest disappointment of the night: Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. Here's why this is the most disappointing thing in the world. You're building this guy, Jack Swagger, as your number one contender. Forget the whole weed thing. You built this guy, and you give him a goddamn jobber entrance at WrestleMania.
That was lame.
You have a promo roll, and then his truck's already down in the ring, and some of the guys that were there, Ardo Cal, Brian Fritz from Between the Robots podcast was saying that he actually got cheered when he came out, and that's why they droned it out, is what they were saying. The match itself, though, was just kind of disappointing, though, wasn't it, guys? I mean...
and the submission ending for the second time tonight.
Yeah, Ricardo got involved. Zeb Coulter got involved. Zeb's hand got stepped on, and that was kind of funny. Del Rio missed it.
Disappointing for what didn't happen, really.
Yeah, Del Rio missed a step up in Zaguri. # where's the bucket? And the most disappointing thing of all, Alberto Del Rio.
Cash in.
No cash in.
Even though Del Rio won. I don't think Alberto Del Rio should have been cashed in on. There was no reason for him to cash in on because he won by submission, and that's why it was just kind of a stupid finish. You know?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't like down on the pin after like a grueling victory. Like he just made the guy submit, so it made sense there was no cash in. But I was hoping there would be.
I think that's because they're burying Swagger now. I think that finish was the show that Del Rio, Swagger, you're done. Del Rio's our guy, because otherwise you would have had. I think they could have at least teased it, where Del Rio would have won, but because he won by submission and Swagger rolled out of the way, there was no reason for us to even think about a pinfall. The biggest upset of the night, before we even get to this, there was no 8-man tag, guys. What the hell? Where was Sweet Tea?
Wait, did we talk about Ryback and Mark Henry yet?
Huh? No, we already did. We'll talk about Bocce Mania here in a second. The biggest match that people are saying right now that came across the best, Undertaker versus CM Punk. Very good match. A lot of back and forths. The punches. Ooh, ah. Was this your favorite match there, Hurricane?
No, it wasn't my favorite match. Wait, what are we talking about?
Undertaker versus CM Punk.
Oh, this was definitely my favorite match.
All right.
Oh, man.
What about this match? What about this match sold it to the best to you?
Well, right away, it was the storytelling and how they tied in the storyline and how CM Punk was really toying with Undertaker, and he was trying to get him to chase him around early in the match, and then he gave him old school. It was just great work by CM Punk, and the match as a whole, the moves and everything, the spots, the flow, everything was great. It was an awesome Undertaker match.
Except for the fact that the table didn't break.
He is the best in the world.
You know, it's like surprise, surprise. Punk involved in one of the better matches of the night, and that seems to be a common theme. You know,
but I heard when he was champion, the ratings.
Wearing a shirt right now for a reason.
Wow, you're wearing the GTS shirt?
No, I'm wearing his first after his one he debuted at Money in the Bank with.
Oh, geez. All right. The match itself, quite a few good spots. Early on, which Jim and Matt thought were kind of the finish, or maybe we did too, I guess. Punk hits a GTS. Undertaker no-selled it, went off the ropes, come back and picks him up, hits a tombstone, but unfortunately he wasn't spotted up to camera. When Undertaker wins, he lines it up to camera, hits it, does the whole face thing. CM Punk did the face thing after his big move.
That was after Undertaker went for the last ride, and Heyman gave CM Punk the urn.
And he hit him with it on the back of the neck, which looked like he missed him, first of all.
Yeah, it did. That was my first reaction.
And he did the Undertaker thing, which looked creepy as shit. I thought he did a good job. One of the biggest things that kind of wrecked the match for me, and I think it wrecked it for Punk a little bit, Punk fucked up his knee.
Undertaker, talk about the table spot.
Undertaker was set up on a table. Can you guess which one? I'll give you 2 seconds. Yes, it was a Spanish announce table. One of the things just went wrong from the beginning because they took out one monitor and the other monitor fell through the table.
Yeah.
And they just left it.
It took 9 years getting to the turnbuckle, so we're like, oh, Taker's going to get out of the way. But he didn't.
And
Punk dove, his knee hit the table really awkwardly, and it didn't collapse.
Didn't even collapse.
Like, you hear the sound that made, too? It just sounded bad.
And Punk's knee was just kind of, the finish, which I thought looked a little botched. Punk went for GTS. It was reversed. Undertaker went for Tombstone. It was reversed. GTS reversed. Finally, Tombstone hits it. I think that's how it ended. I'm not exactly sure, but he won the Tombstone. Undertaker retained. He got the urn back, did a tribute to Paul Bearer, and that's
There
how
was
that
no
one.
hologram.
No, unfortunately, no Coachella.
Because Triple H, in his budget with his whole entrance and everything, there was no money for a Rock entrance, a Cena entrance, a hologram. And they had to cut out one match.
Yeah, they did. They had a kind of one match. Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. Shawn Michaels came out first, which was weird. Then out comes Brock Lesnar, and then Triple H got his stage set up, and I'm guessing that's why Triple H came out last. He comes out, and he had the same kind of stage design he had last year, but he walked through fire extinguisher, but it caught all to his rib cage.
That was hilarious.
And his abdomen, and he's walking out, and you can look at his face, and he's walking down the ramp. He's trying to figure out what to do. Brock Lesnar's face was just priceless. He's walking down the ramp, and they show Brock, and they're like, "What the fuck? dude's got fire extinguisher on his belly."
He cleaned him up in stages. It was
he looked baffled. The camera turned to Brock, and then all of a sudden, I think somebody wiped him with a towel, or he poured water on himself. He did it again. He eventually got it all off. But talk about nipping at WrestleMania when it's already cold and you have fire extinguisher on you. That's gotta suck. The match itself, what did you guys think? I thought the match was good. I liked this match.
That was really good. I mean, at first it was Brock dominating. Triple H came back, and then it was kind of back and forth until Brock involved the steel steps again, like he did at Extreme Rules last year. And then it was a lot of Kimura locks from Triple H, actually. He locked in at least 3 on Brock Lesnar.
Numerous times. Brock.
It was the same spot over and over again.
Well, and I said at the time, I'm like, would you please move your arm so he doesn't do it again? No.
Yeah. Brock started it off. He put him in the corner. He had one Kimura lock on. He did it again. He put him on the top rope to lock in the Kimura. Triple H reversed it. And then Triple H put it in.
And then Brock would pound him into the steel steps, but stay there so the Triple H locked it in 2 more times.
He'd grab him again. Eventually, pedigree on the steel steps. Heyman got super kicked. Overall, good match. It was probably the longest match of the night by 1 second. It was short.
Shawn Michaels in this storyline just made no sense to me. Like, he was only there for a super kick, basically.
Yep.
For a little pep talk on Raw.
That's pretty much it. Paul Heyman.
There.
Paul Heyman was 0-2 tonight at Mania. If you watch the post show, 1 second that I watched it, when I turned it on, I think it was JR said Heyman's got to go back to the Heyman laboratory. He's 0-2. He's got to start coming up with new strategies. Is this because both of them lost? Is this when they team up Brock and CM Punk?
It's a good opportunity.
I want it.
You said he might be taking some time off.
Yes, that's the rumor, that he's going to be taking time off. Overall, the match was good.
So it could work out.
This is probably my second favorite match tonight. It was a little slow. And then the main event, John Cena versus The Rock, started off super slow. I missed the first 7 minutes.
It was real ugly at first. They were just kind of flopping around.
Because the crowd was dead. Here's why. Everybody was expecting the 8-man tag to get thrown in to kind of break it up. They went 4 main events back to back to back to back, which they haven't done. Last year they broke it up. And the crowd was dead for Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. And they actually stopped for a moment and were like, dude, what the fuck? The crowd needs to get into this. Cena and Rock, they kind of pepped up, but for the most part, they were pretty boring. I think it was a huge... I don't know if it was because they were cold or what. Numerous rock bottoms. Numerous attitude adjustments. Probably my favorite thing of this match was, one, Rock stole the 5-knuckle shuffle, and he did it wrong because he ran over him like the people's elbow. And then Rock was laying down. John Cena leans over him, was going to do his move, the people's elbow, and he's like, no, I'm not. And he kind of backs up. He's thinking about it. He goes for it, and as he's going off the second rope, he grabs himself as Rock pops up. He's like, oh, shit. It was just hilarious. The way Cena did it. Goes for the attitude adjustment, gets reversed into a rock bottom. People thought that was the end of the match. It wasn't. Any other big highlights you guys can remember? Cena laying down a rock bottom, #bookend, was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it just turned too much of a finisher fest.
Or too much reversals.
Like, okay, which one's going to be the kill shot now?
I like that. I don't like the fact that they kept getting reversed after reversed after reversed after reversed. That was my big issue. John Cena didn't turn heel, and afterwards...
They respect each other. Handshakes, salutes. Everybody's happy.
WrestleMania 18. Rock came away with a loss. Cena won. Cena shook hands. They hugged. Cena left the ring in a classy move, and it reminds me of the Attitude Era, the kind of the passing of the torch. He leaves the ring, Rock says thank you, goodbye. He's hugging, kissing his family, goes to the top of the stage. They salute each other. They raise each other's hand.
And then Cena hits him with the belt. No, that's what we were waiting for, though.
A good way to end the pay-per-view, I thought. A lot of people are mad because Cena didn't turn heel, but
we'll see what happens tomorrow night.
I think Undertaker versus CM Punk and Triple H versus Brock Lesnar saved the pay-per-view. And the fact that we got to see Ryback shell shock Mark Henry is just great. And the Shield looks strong. So we have that to look forward to, which most people don't remember. And will Dolph and Big E break up? Who knows? Fandango?
And Dolph has a few months to cash in this briefcase.
4 more months.
Let's get on that, Dolph. Come on.
All right, guys, hit that like button. Until next time, thank you very much for joining. Go check out our guys that are with me, youtube.com/Sports Gaming Universe, youtube.com/Mr. Hurricane. 2 Eyes. Also follow me on Tout now, tout.com/W. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.